What if I told you that your life could change the moment you stop pouring your heart into the wrong people? Imagine a life where your energy is never drained, where your worth is never questioned, and where the people around you not only understand your value, but elevate you to new heights. What would that feel like, right? Now, what if I told you that this reality is not just a dream? It's a choice you can make starting today. We've all been there. Giving our time, our heart, our energy to people who didn't deserve it. You know the ones. Those relationships that leave you exhausted, questioning your worth, and doubting your own sense of purpose. The ones that make you feel like you're constantly giving, but never receiving. But here's the truth: you do not have to settle for that life. You are worthy of more than draining relationships that take everything and leave you empty. You deserve to surround yourself with people who see your greatness, who push you to be your best, and who make you feel seen, not for who you pretend to be, but for who you truly are. The power to choose who you allow into your life and the energy you give to them lies entirely within you. Today, I want to talk about how stopping the investment in the wrong people can shift everything. Your mental state, your happiness, your future. Because when you stop giving to those who take without reciprocating, when you start protecting your energy, and when you learn to invest in relationships that fuel you, your entire world begins to align. I know it's not always easy to walk away from relationships, especially when they've been a part of your life for a long time. But I promise you this: once you start choosing people who honor your boundaries, respect your worth, and uplift your spirit, you will experience a freedom like no other. Your life will be full of peace, joy, and the kind of connections that make you feel alive, supported, and truly loved. So let me ask you again, who are you investing in? And more importantly, who do you need to let go of in order to make space for the people who will truly help you thrive? Let's dive in, because it's time to invest in relationships that empower you. Relationships that help you become the person you were always meant to be. Value your worth. Understanding the true value of yourself is a journey of self-discovery that most people never truly take. It's easy to give in to society's pressures and try to fit into a mold that isn't yours, but the most empowering thing you can do is define your own worth. Too often, we place our self-esteem and happiness in the hands of others, believing that our value is dictated by how others treat us. But what happens when you realize that your worth isn't dependent on anyone else's opinion of you? What happens when you begin to understand that you, as you are right now, are enough? This realization doesn't come overnight, it's a process. The first step is to stop comparing yourself to others. In a world full of filters, curated lifestyles, and highlight reels, it's easy to think that we don't measure up. But true confidence comes from within, not from validation from external sources. Take time to reflect on your strengths, your kindness, your passions, and your resilience. When you know your worth, you make different choices. You stop sacrificing your peace for people who don't appreciate it. You begin to attract people who understand you, who respect your boundaries, and who nourish your spirit. It's about realizing that you are deserving of love, success, and joy just by being you, and no one has the right to make you feel less than that. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is a gift, and it's always been there, quietly guiding you through life. This inner voice, or gut feeling, is a natural form of wisdom that has evolved to protect you from danger, from harm, and even from emotional exhaustion. Trusting it is not just about listening to that gut feeling when you're around certain people. It's about becoming attuned to your own emotional landscape. Often, we override our intuition in favor of logic or external advice. We ignore that nagging feeling because we want to believe in the best in people, or we fear confrontation. But in doing so, we often end up giving too much to the wrong people, or staying in relationships that are draining and unhealthy. When you ignore your intuition, you're essentially ignoring your own needs, your desires, and your well-being. Your inner voice is telling you when something isn't right, even if you can't immediately explain why. Over time, when you continue to ignore it, you lose touch with yourself and with the clarity that comes from listening to what your body and mind are trying to communicate. Trusting your intuition isn't a passive process. It's an active choice to honor your feelings and your emotional wisdom. It's not about being paranoid or overly cautious. It's about respecting your emotional boundaries and choosing not to invest in people or situations that cause you harm. Once you learn to trust your intuition, you'll be amazed at how much clearer your relationships become and how much more you can align yourself with the people who truly support your growth. The power of boundaries. Setting boundaries is one of the most important forms of self-care and emotional hygiene you can practice. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to things you don't want to do. They're about communicating to others what is acceptable and what is not in a way that protects your peace and integrity. Boundaries are a way of preserving your emotional energy, and without them, we often find ourselves overwhelmed, drained, and depleted by people who don't respect our limits. Many of us fear setting boundaries because we worry about rejection or causing conflict. We might feel that saying no or establishing limits will make us seem selfish, or that will disappoint people who depend on us. But here's the truth. You can't be there for others if you're not there for yourself first. When you allow people to take too much of your energy, you eventually burn out. And when you're burned out, you have nothing left to give. Healthy boundaries are essential for creating a balanced life where you can show up fully for yourself and the people who matter most. Boundaries don't have to be rigid or harsh. In fact, they should be flexible enough to allow for healthy connection, but firm enough to keep out toxic energy. Setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It's about ensuring that you're not losing yourself in the process of giving to others. It's about making sure your emotional and mental health come first. People who truly respect and care about you will understand and honor your boundaries. If they don't, it's a clear sign that they don't deserve your investment. Choose your circle wisely. The people you choose to spend your time with have an undeniable impact on your life. You've probably heard it said that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and there's truth to this. If your circle is full of negativity, drama, and people who drain your energy, it's going to be incredibly hard to thrive. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by people who uplift you, inspire you, and challenge you to be better, your life will reflect that. Choosing your circle wisely means carefully curating the people you allow into your life. These are the people who will influence your thoughts, your mood, and your behaviors. You want to be around people who will encourage you to follow your dreams, who will stand by you in your moments of weakness, and who will celebrate your victories as their own. True friendships are built on mutual respect and shared values, not on convenience or superficial connections. When you choose the right people, you create an environment where you feel supported, loved, and encouraged to grow. But that doesn't mean these people will always agree with you or tell you what you want to hear. The right people will challenge you when you need it, help you see your blind spots, and hold you accountable. They're the ones who bring out the best in you, and with them you'll find that life becomes fuller, richer, and more meaningful. Actions over words. Words are powerful, no doubt. But actions, they carry weight. Anyone can tell you that they love you, that they care, or that they will be there for you. But words are fleeting and often subject to change. Actions reveal the truth. It's in the consistency of a person's behavior that you begin to see who they truly are. Are they showing up when they say they will? Are they making an effort to be there for you during tough times? Or is it always about what's convenient for them? Pay attention to the way people treat you when you're not in their presence. Are they still showing you respect, even when it's not easy, or when they're not getting something in return? If someone truly values you, their actions will back up their words. This is where trust is built. It's easy to say all the right things, but the people who truly care about you show it through their consistent actions over time. They check in on you when you're sick, they celebrate your achievements without jealousy, and they stand by your side when you're at your lowest. The people who only talk about how much they care, but never show up for you will eventually leave you disappointed. People can say a lot of things, but it's their actions that demonstrate their true intentions. Learn to recognize the difference and don't be fooled by empty promises. Energy is everything. Energy is the invisible force that surrounds us, and we're constantly exchanging it with the people around us. Think about how you feel after spending time with someone. Do you feel uplifted and inspired, or do you feel drained and depleted? Often we underestimate the importance of energy because it's intangible. But in reality, The energy we share with others can have a profound impact on our well-being. Every person has a distinct energy, a combination of their mood, mindset, and emotional state. Just like you can feel when someone is good energy and uplifting, you can also sense when someone is bad energy or toxic. Sometimes it's subtle, like feeling uneasy after a conversation, or sometimes it's more obvious, like feeling emotionally exhausted after spending time with someone. When you're constantly around negative or draining energy, it can wear you down over time, leaving you feeling emotionally and mentally depleted. This can be especially true for people who are narcissistic, manipulative, or self-centered. They tend to take without giving anything back. They may demand your time, your attention, and your emotional investment, but give very little in return. The more time you spend around them, the more it chips away at your own energy reserves. Conversely, when you're around positive energy, you feel inspired, motivated, and ready to take on the world. Positive energy is contagious. People who bring light into your life, those who encourage you, help you grow, and celebrate your successes lift you up. They make you feel seen, understood, and appreciated. Their energy is not draining but empowering. Being mindful of the energy people bring into your life means choosing relationships that serve you in a positive way, where you can grow together and support each other. Surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals will help you stay centered, balanced, and ready to take on the challenges life throws your way. Don't settle for toxic relationships. Toxic relationships can manifest in various ways. They may involve manipulation, emotional abuse, constant negativity, or even passive-aggressive behavior. These relationships often begin subtly, where one person's behavior is excused or overlooked until it becomes a pattern. But toxicity doesn't have to be loud or overt. Sometimes it's in the small things, the undermining comments, the guilt-tripping, or the constant emotional roller coaster that leaves you feeling drained and confused. The most dangerous thing about toxic relationships is that they often involve people who are close to you, family members, friends, partners. It can be difficult to see the toxicity because these are the people who should love and support you. Yet their actions make you question your worth, diminish your self-esteem, and often cause you emotional distress. When you're in a toxic relationship, you might find yourself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid conflict, or constantly questioning whether something is your fault. You might feel emotionally exhausted, anxious, or even fearful. This kind of emotional toll is not just draining, it can start affecting your mental and physical health, leading to things like stress, anxiety, depression, or even physical ailments like headaches or sleep problems. The key to recognizing a toxic relationship is paying attention to how you feel after interactions. Do you feel uplifted, respected, and supported? Or do you feel drained, belittled, or worse about yourself? Healthy relationships are marked by mutual respect, trust, and kindness. If you're not experiencing these fundamental elements, it may be time to take a step back. Ending a toxic relationship can be difficult, especially if you've invested a lot of time and energy in it. But remember, you deserve to be in a relationship that nurtures and supports your well-being. Letting go of a toxic relationship is not about giving up on the person, but about choosing yourself and your mental, emotional, and physical health. Learn to let go. Letting go is one of the most challenging and freeing actions you can take, but it's also one of the most essential. We often hold on to people, relationships, and situations out of fear, attachment, or guilt. We fear being alone, fear letting go of someone we care about, or fear the change that comes with cutting ties. But holding on to what no longer serves you only keeps you stuck in a cycle of emotional distress, disappointment, and frustration. Letting go is not about forgetting the person or the relationship. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden they place on you. Sometimes, we stay in relationships because we feel responsible for others' happiness, or because we're afraid of being judged for walking away. But when we refuse to let go, we continue to invest in people or situations that drain us, and it becomes harder to move forward. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care about the person. It simply means that the relationship has become toxic or unhealthy for you, and you deserve better. It's about recognizing that your happiness and well-being come first. When you let go, you open up space for new experiences, new relationships, and more growth. One of the hardest things about letting go is the emotional attachment we form with others. We become invested in the idea of who they are or who we want them to be. But sometimes, the best thing we can do is to release that attachment and allow ourselves to heal and grow independently. By doing this, we are also giving the other person the opportunity to grow in their own way. Holding on can sometimes mean stunting both your growth and theirs. Letting go may be a painful process, but it's ultimately a liberating one. As you let go of what doesn't serve you, you create space for better, healthier, and more fulfilling connections in the future. Invest in people who bring out the best in you. One of the most valuable investments you can make in life is choosing to surround yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and encourage you. Relationships should be mutually enriching. The right people won't just bring joy into your life, they'll also challenge you to be your best self. When you spend time with people who truly value you, you feel seen and heard. These are the people who will celebrate your achievements without envy, who will lift you up when you're down, and who will encourage you to pursue your dreams, even when you're uncertain. They'll help you grow in ways you never thought possible because they see the greatness in you even when you doubt yourself. True friendships and relationships are built on mutual support, trust, and respect. These people will help you stay grounded, remind you of your worth when you forget, and will never ask you to compromise your values or dreams. They respect your boundaries and always have your best interests at heart. Investing in people who bring out the best in you also means being willing to invest in others in the same way. The most fulfilling relationships are those in which both people contribute to each other's growth, creating a beautiful and harmonious dynamic. When you surround yourself with the right people, you will be inspired to show up as your best self, to pursue your passions, follow your dreams, and challenge yourself to grow. Self-investment first. Before you can truly invest in others, you need to invest in yourself. Self-investment is about nourishing your mind, body, and spirit. It's about taking the time to grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually so that you can show up in your relationships and your life as the best version of yourself. When you invest in yourself, you're making a commitment to your own growth and well-being. This might mean taking time to pursue your passions, reading books that inspire you, learning new skills, practicing self-care, or seeking therapy to heal emotional wounds. It's about building your self-worth, practicing self-love, and creating a life that brings you joy and fulfillment. Investing in yourself also means setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. It means not sacrificing your happiness for the comfort or approval of others. When you prioritize your own well-being, you're able to show up for others in a healthier, more meaningful way. You have more to give because you've first given to yourself. Self-investment isn't selfish, it's necessary. The more you invest in yourself, the more you'll be able to contribute to your relationships and to the world around you. When you're your best self, you attract others who are aligned with your values, dreams, and vision for life. The more you prioritize yourself, the more you'll understand your worth, and the more you'll find yourself surrounded by people who reflect that worth back to you. As we close today, I want you to leave with this truth. You have the power to transform your life, your energy, and your future by choosing where you invest your time, love, and heart. The people you surround yourself with will either elevate you or hold you back. They will either push you to greatness or keep you stagnant in a place of frustration and self-doubt. You are not obligated to stay in relationships that drain you. You are not required to accept people who disrespect your boundaries or devalue your worth. The truth is, you deserve better. You deserve relationships that inspire you, challenge you, and most importantly, make you feel seen and valued for who you truly are. When you learn to stop investing in the wrong people, when you choose to surround yourself with those who uplift you, your world will shift in ways you never thought possible. Your energy will feel lighter, your mind clearer, your heart fuller, and your life will be filled with the peace, love, and success you've always dreamed of. So, take a moment today to reflect on who you're choosing to invest in. Protect your energy fiercely. Don't be afraid to let go of the people who no longer serve your highest good. And most importantly, trust in your worth. Because when you truly understand that, you will attract the kind of relationships that reflect your highest potential. Remember, you are the sum of the people you choose to surround yourself with. Choose wisely. Choose love. Choose growth, and always, always choose you. Thank you.